Trouble in Paradise. We talk about the big Deadpool 2 director shakeup on today's Nerdist News. When Deadpool hit at the box office earlier this year, a lot of the success was attributed to the creative chemistry between star Ryan Reynolds and director Tim Miller. The combination of Reynolds' quick-draw quips with Miller's over-the-top visuals proved to be the perfect recipe for bringing the merc with a mouth to the big screen. After all those accolades, it was easy to assume that Deadpool 2 would be smooth sailing for these two, but as the first movie taught us, all relationships have their issues, and alas, some aren't as easy to get over as a boyfriend with a horrifically mutated face. Just this Friday, Fox announced that Reynolds and Miller would be parting ways over creative differences. Now, no need to take sides because the split seemed entirely amicable. Reynolds will retain custody of Deadpool while Miller will move on to another big-budget, high-profile project. Everybody wins, but the situation still leaves us feeling a little lost. What was the catalyst for the breakup, and what can that tell us about the future of Deadpool 2? Well, for starters, it seems that these two had very different ideas for what the tone of the movie should be. Deadpool was Miller's first time helming a film after a long career as a visual effects artist, and apparently he wanted to use Deadpool 2 as an opportunity to stretch his director's wings even further. He was hoping for a more stylized sequel that would allow him to put more emphasis on action, something akin to the X-Men movies with which Deadpool shares a very loosely connected cinematic universe. However, Reynolds wanted to double down on the comedic elements that set Mr. Poole apart from the rest of the superheroes currently occupying the Cineplex. He wanted more snark, more fourth wall breaking, and more improv, things that wouldn't exactly jive with the more rigidly traditional production Miller was interested in. Differences in opinion over casting were also instrumental in widening the rift between these two, specifically differences in opinion over who should strap on the oversized shoulder pads to play X-Men fan favorite Cable. Miller showed his colors as a true Dylan Panthers fan when he started campaigning for Friday Night Lights coach Kyle Chandler to take on the role, but Reynolds doesn't seem to think Chandler has quite the right amount of old man grizzle to play Scott Summers' aging son. Instead, his choice for the part is Liam Neeson, the current king of grizzled old man action stars. Now, it was probably inevitable that, whatever disagreements these two were having, the studio was always going to come down on Reynolds' side. The first Deadpool happened mainly because it was such a passion project for him, and the former Green Lantern pushed hard for years to get Deadpool made and get it made right. So it's possible this really was the rare film where the driving creative force behind it was the star, not the director. Fox definitely recognized that and agreed to a massive pay raise to bring him to come back, complete with creative input and casting approval. So ultimately, this all points to a Deadpool 2 as a superhero comedy that leans a lot harder on the comedy than on the superheroing. And frankly, if it had to be one over the other, we can be okay with that. There are plenty of movies out there giving us our recommended doses of big, brooding heroes. Yes, we will miss the insane, inventive action Tim Miller brought to the table, but as long as they can let Deadpool do Deadpool and stick to the stuff that made him such a breath of fresh air to begin with, we think we can handle it. But what do you guys think? Do you think this shakeup spells trouble for Deadpool? How much credit for the first movie do you give Ryan Reynolds, and how much do you give to Tim Miller? Who do you think should play Cable? Let's discuss. And a very special thanks to Ash vs. Evil Dead for sponsoring today's show. If you guys are huge fans of television's bloodiest comedy like we are, then you might want to check out the Nerdist Facebook page tomorrow, where I'm gonna help Dan Casey chainsaw everything we can get our hands on live. Oh, I know. Yes, our friends at Ash vs. Evil Dead have armed us with 2 saws and a shitload of fake blood, and we're gonna use every last drop. Catch the mayhem on our Facebook and at Nerdist.com tomorrow, and watch episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead on the Starz app or on demand. Groovy! Make sure you like this video and subscribe to keep getting all of your Nerdist news.